And good morning, everyone. It is 11:30 right on the dot, and it's Ken Audette hosting the Trading Post today. A thrill to do it, an honor to do it. I've got a very special guest on the Trading Post with me today, all the way from Southern Ontario via Red Deer and other points in between. The one, the only guy who really needs no introduction, Ron MacLean, who's rolled into Swift Current for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Ron, welcome to Swift Current. Welcome to Golden West Radio. Welcome to the Trading Post. And thanks so much for doing this, man.
Total pleasure, Ken. It's nice to see you again. We had a great time in Shaunavon, obviously, when we did the show.
15 years.
Isn't that amazing?
I know.
So, yeah, it's good. Total thrill.
Absolutely. Now, before we get to we've got some phone calls coming in here. We'll take some phone calls. You actually got your start in radio. Red Deer, your hometown, a couple of years back, eh?
I remember my first on the radio moment was I was practicing. I had run 2 songs out of the news. They threw to me, and I played a song by Chuck Mangione called Feels So Good, and then Billy Joel, Moving Out.
Oh, yeah.
And I was practicing. I was saying, I was looking at the clock up on the digital clock, and it was 11:08, CKRD, and I'm Ron MacLean. It's 11:08, CKRD with Billy Joel, Moving Out, and I'm Ron MacLean. So I'm just practicing, right?
Right.
11:09, CKRD. And finally, the moment of truth arrives, and the song ends, and I go on, and just at that moment, the clock switched to 11:10, and I said, it's 11:10. So I screwed up. The very first thing out of my mouth was a screw up, and it's been that way ever since.
I don't know about that. Yeah, you guys got into town yesterday. You got a busy schedule. We were talking before we went on the air with the next. We'll go to the phone line shortly here. We got some calls coming in, but I know you're heading out to some schools. We got the music hockey day tomorrow. And
the committee, the local organizing committee, and the mayor, Dennis Perreault, and Jared Schaefer, of course, former mayor and a dear friend of when we did the Rogers Hometown Hockey broadcast in Swift Current a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Everybody's put together an amazing 4 days. We'll call it the 6th and the 9th, and it includes hockey games and the Music of Hockey concert, which is happening at the casino, and we have... it's just going to be a splendid, even if it's cold, look at how beautiful it is out there. So under the big sky. Lorna Crozier is a poet from here in Swift Current. She used to say, you feel small under the big sky, and you do. There's a great sense of humility and the reality of our love of the hockey with the Broncos as our hosts. Just great.
very well said. Ron, let's take some phone calls right now. All right, here we go. Well, good morning, Trading Post. Hello? Are you there? Let's try this line here. Let's see this one here. Good morning, Trading Post.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Can you? Do you want to say hi to? Do you want to say hi to Ron MacLean? Ron MacLean from is here for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. The host of Coach's Corner. He's here. Do you want to say hi, Ron, to him?
Hi, Ron.
Who's on the line with us here?
It's me, Earl.
Ron, this is Earl.
Earl, it's a pleasure to have you aboard. What are you selling today?
Yeah, you guys know me.
Well, you bet. Earl's a regular. What can we do for you today, Earl?
Okay, my name is Earl. I do yard jobs in Shaunavon and plus snow removal in Shaunavon.
In Shaunavon, and you bet you do.
My number is 306-294-8003.
294-8003. Earl is ready to move all that snow and help out in any way he can out in Shaunavon. 15 years ago, hockey day out there. We get calls from all over, Ron.
I remember Bruce Rainey's a dear colleague at CBC. He started in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, Ken, and his first show that he hosted was called The Swap Shop. So it was kind of a Trading Post Maritimes edition. And the boss said, now, Bruce... we have to install a new rule. You're just coming aboard. You're a young kid. You're going to be a great broadcaster. But we've had a little trouble on the swap shop as everybody's trying to sell too many items. So let's limit it to 3, starting with you hosting the show. So Bruce gets on the air for his first ever appearance. And first guy calls in says, I've got 4 things I got to sell. And Bruce said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. But we've started a new policy. It's 3 items maximum. He said, yeah, but it's 4. I got to sell 4. And he said, I'm sorry, you can only sell 3. He said, all right. That's what you want. He says, in that case, I got 3 tires I'd like to sell. And it was... It was the beginning of Bruce Rainey's Trading Post.
I'll call in with the 4th tire tomorrow. That's how we're getting.
Anyway, Earl, thank you for calling. Good luck with the snow removal today.
You bet.
We had a little dusting last night.
8003. That's give Earl a call. Okay. Well, good morning, Trading Post.
Hello. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Why don't you say hi to Ron MacLean? He's our co-host today.
How's it going, Mr. Ron MacLean?
It's really great. Who's this?
My name is Jerry. I'm calling out of the Moose Jaw area, and I'm wondering if anybody out there has any older full-size Broncos or Blazers for sale, or 90s Chevy Shortbox or GMC Shortbox trucks. All have to be running, four-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sure we can find one for you out there today.
Perfect.
Do we take a number?
My phone number is 306-630-4412.
630-4412 in the Moose Jaw area. Home of the Warriors, Ron.
And, Tim Hunter, right? So we've got a flyby arranged. The base has been really good to us. We stopped there also for Rogers Hometown Hockey. And the Snowbirds, all the training happens at Moose Jaw. So we're looking forward to keep your eye in the sky come Saturday. They're going to come and join us via a couple of jets.
That's going to be fantastic. You know, we were talking, I got to say... I was getting kind of wide-eyed when I knew you were coming in and they asked me to be the co-host. And I said, we were talking before I went in the air, and I said, I'm going to be kind of like the late Chris Farley. I look like him a bit with the white, if he had the white goatee. And I said, you know, when he did the Chris Farley show, I'm going to say something to you like, remember that time on Hockey Night in Canada when you were interviewing Wayne Gretzky? Yeah. That was awesome.
I do remember, Ken, the first time I interviewed Wayne was 1984. I'd started as host of the Calgary Flames broadcast, and, you know, I was wide-eyed, obviously. I was telling you off air, Tom Wilkinson, quarterback for the Eskimos, was the first time I was starstruck doing an interview. But now it's Wayne Gretzky, and by then he'd won the Cup, and he came into the room, and I just watched every move he made. He was really gracious. He said hello to everybody on the cast and crew. He was, and always has been, one of my favorite interviews in hockey was Gretzky.
Cool. 778-3247. That is our number to call if you have anything you'd like to buy, sell, trade, or give away, or just say hello to Ron MacLean, our co-host today. Ron, we should mention also, we just found out here, Joel Darling's with you, who's, of course, the executive producer of special events for Sportsnet. The Toronto Maple Leafs have graciously donated an autographed Austin Matthews jersey. Over the next little while, we're going to take bids on it. We'll let you know how people can put their bids on that, and then we're going to make the draw at the Outdoor Festival at Riverdene Park, or give it away on Saturday. The proceeds are going to go to SwiftCurrent Minor Hockey. That's incredible, and when you guys can come out from, you know, major centers like Toronto with these types of things, what it means to local minor hockey programs, and really in so many ways, that's what this is all about, giving back to those programs, where it all starts. Eh?
Austin is an incredible human. He grew up with Jeff Courtnall and Russ Courtnall.
Right.
It was Lawton, the son of Russ, who actually played hockey with Austin Matthews down in the Phoenix, Glendale area. He's just a remarkable guy. He helped us out with the Scotiabank Heroes of Hockey Day promotion. So the winning team is coming out this weekend. It was all Austin Matthews and PK Subban. I got to work with them for a few days this summer, and just to see Austin talk hockey with PK was incredible. They discussed one-timing shots, curves on sticks, length of sticks, all the nuance. They both... PK and Austin get their food delivered to their door each day by the same provider. A company out of Los Angeles gets them all the proper nutrition, right? But he's an amazing guy, and you know, his is the most unlikely story. His mom's Mexican, the father's American, and for him to master the game the way he did. He was a young phenom, studied under a Ukrainian hockey coach named Boris Dorozhenko, but he's the real deal. They've got obviously a good club in TO, but then we debate a lot about who the true leader is. Could be Morgan Riley, could be John Tavares, but Matthews, if you get this sweater, you're getting it from a really nice man.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to the Toronto Maple Leafs and Austin Matthews for doing that. We'll get back to the phone lines now. Good morning, Trading Post.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing good. You better say hello to Ron MacLean. He's our co-host today, as you probably heard, eh?
Oh, you bet. Hi, Ron. How are you doing today?
Really well. Nice to have you aboard. Who's this?
Chad here calling. A little cool today here.
Well, a little on the chilly side. It's a we said Ron came out during the perfect week of the winter. This is hockey weather, isn't it, Chad?
Yeah, making ice today, all right.
You betcha. What can we do for you?
Trying to locate an old set of Morse press drills. I think they're like an M10 or M11.
Morse press drills.
Yeah, and they work good for seeding grass and alfalfa. Just wondered if there's a old set of those kicking around somewhere that aren't being used anymore.
I'll bet you we can find some for you. You've come to the right place, Chad.
You bet. 306-867-3594.
3594. Is that out in the Cabri area?
That's Outlook area.
Outlook area. Okay, I was getting my exchanges mixed up there. Outlook area, Chad, for those Morse press drills, 867-3594.
You got her. Have a good one. Thanks.
Chad, stay safe and stay warm, okay? Yeah, it is chilly out there. I was looking at the long-range forecast, Ron. Did you bring your long johns with you? Minus 22 on Saturday.
I know. It's we've done the show. Iqaluit was minus 70. That's on Baffin Island.
Wow.
That's the coldest we ever had. And I remember we were in Winkler for the show a few years ago, and Don Cherry rolled in on the Friday night. He was a little later. We did the banquet Friday night, and he came in Friday, and that night we had a few too many beers. We usually limit it to 3 or 4, and I think we might have run her up to 6 that night and shouldn't have. So I woke up a little bit guilty at 3 in the morning, and I had to scrape the frost off my bedroom window, looking outside to see what the weather was doing, because I knew it was going to be minus 40 and windy. And I was guilty and thinking, what have you become, Ron? Why would you drink 6 beers the night before a 13-hour broadcast? Anyway, we survived it. It was one of the coldest we ever had, and we only lasted outdoors maybe a half an hour or an hour, and then we had to flip into the arena.
I was going to say,
try and brave it.
At that temperature, it'd be dangerous to be out there for too long, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I remember in Iqaluit, it was minus 70 with the wind chill, and I had every bit of down that you could put on a body, and the only thing showing was my nose. And I remember the kids, the locals, they were out in their hockey sweaters, almost oblivious to this ridiculous cold, and they were so great, that community, to us. Everyone is. And as I say, Swift for me brings a lot of, we had the Rogers Hometown Hockey Stop was just great. I remember the Marlows coming up from Aneroid to visit with us. So, yeah.
Just down the road, Patrick's hometown here.
And Mark Lamb was coaching that time. Yeah. Now it's Dean Brockman. God, I love Dean, and what he did for the Humboldt Broncos, which is a recurring conversation ever since April the 6th. And the web of the Broncos, I've always said, it was the worst thing that ever happened, but the worth of what that organization, from Kevin Geringer to Darcy Hogan and Mark Cross, the assistant coach, and Logan Schatz, the captain, such an inspiration, the Humboldt Broncos, right? And that's Dean.
It was so moving to me after that happened. I said, in the middle of this unspeakable tragedy, the way the entire world community came together. I mean, they were hosting minutes of silence at professional hockey games in Norway and Europe, and at soccer games in South America. It was absolutely unbelievable how the world came behind Humboldt after that happened.
Yeah, it was, Ken. I would come around the corner with my dog, on a walk, and I'd see the sticks on the step, and I would want to go and knock on the door and just thank them and give them a hug, and we all felt the same way. And but it came from that somehow this amazing, a junior A franchise in rural Saskatchewan to be that top to bottom great in the leadership category. Ryan Stretchnitsky's coming over on the weekend, so he's playing sledge now and doing great. And we just had Tyler Smith on in our stop in Leduc, and that whole team will continue to inspire.
We'll take another phone call here, Ron, then we got to take a break, and we'll be back. I got lots more I want to chat with you about, but we'll go back to the phone lines here. Good morning, Trading Post.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Do you want to say hello to Ron MacLean? He's in town for Hockey Day in Canada.
That's why I'm calling for.
Okay. Nice. What would you like to say to him?
I say welcome to our city, and nice to hear him, and thank you for coming down to see our city.
It's my joy. And who's this? Who am I speaking with?
Fatima Haddam.
Hey, Fatima.
And I'm always watching you on hockey.
I was just saying to Ken off air, Mike Babcock texted me, not to drop names, but he's a good Saskatchewan name. Mike just texted to get Don's number because he wanted to wish him a happy birthday today. It's Don Cherry's 85th birthday. Can you believe that?
Cherry is 85?
Isn't that remarkable? He's just, but 18 at heart, as you know. Yeah, actually, he always says
he makes the show for sure.
Yeah, he's got the mentality.
You're both a good team.
Yeah, 33 years.
Is that how long
really
it's been?
Blessed. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
33 years.
33 years of talking, eh?
That's it. Well,
That's
listening.
very good.
People always say, when Don's on, no one in our house is allowed to talk. I said, neither am I.
I love tuning in to see what he's got to say. Well, Fatima, thanks so much for calling in. Pleasure to hear from you, eh?
Thank you very much. You have a great time in our city there.
Thank you.
You bet. There you go, Ron. You've got lots of fans here in SwiftCurrent area. I want to chat with you a little bit about some, the theme for this year, which of course is courage, and a few other things. Don's birthday today. We'll have to take a break. The phone lines are open, 778-3247. It's the Trading Post for a very cold Tuesday morning, and a very special guest, Ron MacLean from Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada is here. We'll be back after these very important messages.
The 3rd Annual Southwest Saskatchewan Crop Information Day. Guest speaker topics include spray applications, the provincial government on herbicide resistance, world weather, and micronutrients. Breakfast and lunch will be provided. There'll also be an industry trade show with dozens of booths by companies including BASF, Gowan, Syngenta, and even the Children's Wish Foundation. The 3rd Annual Southwest Saskatchewan Crop Information Day, February 13th at Walker Place. Get your tickets at any Nutrien Ag retail location.
It's Customer Appreciation Day at both Safeway and Sobeys. Tomorrow only, receive 10% off your groceries or 20 times your base Air Miles reward miles with a minimum $50 purchase. Safeway and Sobeys. Better food starts here.
CKSW is heard at some of Southwest Saskatchewan's best businesses, including Cypress House Personal Care Home, creating a world of difference and support for your loved ones. Find them across from the Swift Current Hospital.
Country Music Radio is heard at some of South Saskatchewan's best businesses, including Aqua Pump House, your Gould's water system professionals, at 1777 Chaplin Street West in Swift Current. Call 306-773-3818.
Trading Post on CKSW Country Music Radio. And hello goodbye at SwiftCurrentOnline.com. 2 great ways to buy, sell, or trade locally.
Yeah, welcome back. It is 11:46, 14 away from high noon. It's the Trading Post for this Tuesday morning. Very special guest, Ron MacLean from Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada in town, joining us as our guest today. Ron, like I said, we were talking, you got your start in radio. Red Deer's your hometown. A little bit about your background before we go back to the phone lines. I know you said you moved around a lot with your dad in the Air Force, but then settled in Red Deer, which is where you spent much of your youth and really got your start in radio.
Both Mom and Dad were military. Dad was 32 years in the armed forces. Mom had to get out when they married. That was the rule back in the day. And then Dad had to retire at age 50 was the rule in the day. So for the land of opportunity was Alberta. For his post-career with the Air Force, he moved to Red Deer and got a job with the RCMP as a dispatcher. He was the guy on the phones working with the cruisers, and just had a fantastic experience living in Red Deer, Alberta, which is a town not unlike Swift Current, right? Yeah. So it was an opportunity that came my way to go down and work part-time at a radio station, and one thing seemed to lead to the other, and I found the joy of the vocation, like you know, Ken, is you get to make somene's day, right? Yeah. I wish it was something a little more noble, I suppose, like being a doctor or a teacher, but it was a really great vocation, and once smitten, I got through a lot of anxiety issues in my early broadcasting career, so sometimes I pinch myself that I was able to survive it because I was scared skinny. But once you get through that, and nowadays, you know, in my time, you didn't talk about that feeling vulnerable or scared. And but I got through it, and fortunately, you know, as I said, 33 years with Grapes has been a good run. It truly is a job I love, and I said, getting up when it's 35 below at 4:30 in the morning, sometimes that's not my favorite thing to do, but it's really not like work when I come into work. For me, and I said, my dad used to always say to me, well, a boy can flap his gums, he might as well get paid for it, so here I am all these years later. It's good to be a friend, right? This industry is about companionship, and that's why, you know, the Trading Post has a group that is loyal to the show because it's something you can enjoy, the companionship of fellow Saskatchewanites. I just love it. And, you know, there you have Don Cherry's 85 years old, and he will die in his skates and in his crazy blazer because he loves fanatical about a sauna twice a day, and he'll work out, and he takes vitamins, and he's always been really conscientious about mind and body. And, you know, I think his views are warped, but I'm kidding. But other than that, he's doing remarkably well. Don, happy birthday, 85 years young today. The phone lines are lighting up, so let's get a couple more calls going here, Ron. Well, good morning, Trading Post.
Hi.
How are you? I'm good.
And hello to your guest.
Yeah.
Who's calling? Who's this?
This is Holly Lightfoot.
Hi, Holly.
Hi.
What can we do for you today, Holly?
On this hockey day, I am looking for an ice shack.
Ah.
An ice shack?
Fishing.
To do some ice fishing?
Yeah.
Well, perfect. I'm sure there's some out there. You betcha.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you do your ice fishing at?
Pelche.
Out at Lac Pelche.
Lake Pelche.
Nice perch out there, and jack, and walleye as well, too, eh?
Yeah.
You betcha.
Yep.
What's the best way to get a hold of you, Holly?
773-6830.
6830.
And I need it on wheels.
On wheels, all right.
Like a camper.
Ron, the word is out there. Holly needs an ice shack on wheels to get out there and catch those nice perch out at Lac Pelche, which is just south of here.
Exactly.
Well, Holly, thanks so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers,
you.
Holly.
You know, Ron, you're going to have to come out here in the summertime. So Saskatchewan's got some of the most fantastic fishing. I'm sure as you've heard, if you like to fish and you're outdoor at all, summertime, maybe when it's not 30 below, you should come out sometime. You know, Dave and Brenda Williams are dear friends, and they talk, you know, fishing all the time, of course. Travis Moan's going to be with us on the broadcast, another guy that's talks about the angling here, and obviously Babcock, the northern Waskisu region, the lake country up north. People don't know the Canada Games were held in Saskatchewan, and it was the first time people realized that, oh my God, I thought it was just, you know, dust and
grain, but it's actually half the province's water when you head north. Beautiful.
It was funny. Tiger was here for hometown hockey, of course, all over the place a few years ago, and we were set up out in front of our studios, and I said, Tiger, come on over, and we chatted, and I had my Montreal Canadiens toque on, and he was wearing his Toronto Maple Leaf jacket, and I said, what do you think of this? What do you think of this hat, Tiger? And he said, well, every village needs an idiot.
There's a lot of idiots in this country who love the Habs, of course.
Let's get back to the phone lines for a minute. Then I want to ask you a little bit about the theme, which is courage this year, that Joel and Darling and I have touched on. Well, good morning, Trading Post.
Hey there, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Ron, how are you?
I'm really well.
Welcome to Swift Current. I've got an electric snow shovel that I want to get rid of. I don't need it. Price tag is still on it. It was $190. I'm asking $60 for it. And I've got a 2004 Dodge 2.0. It's like a sport Dodge Neon. It's got a high output engine in it, 5-speed, new tires, new glass, new battery. You can call for more info on that. And you can call 773-4456.
773-4456. 773-4456, eh?
You betcha.
This is good weather to sell a snow shovel in, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow all week. So
it's going to be winter time in the great Southwest for sure. Thanks so much for the call.
Thank you, and have a great day, both of you.
Yeah, thank you. Ron, I know you guys have had a real cold snap in Southern Ontario, too. I know Joel called in last week. He said it was absolutely frigid down there. So you were prepared for coming out to the 306 for this kind of weather, eh?
Totally. Minus 25, and it was with the wind chill again into the minus 30s. And as you always hear, it's a damp cold, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference coming off Lake Ontario. It just really bites you. So this is a breeze. It's perfect weather for a hockey celebration. No problem with that. And you were touching on the theme, which is courage.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll need a little of it to stay out for the 6 hours. But we have a really neat opening to the broadcast this week, touching on first responders. Obviously, again, back to the idea of both the Swift Current Bronco accident in December 2000, or back in '86. We have Bob Harriman, who was the first Mountie on the scene back in the Swift Current Broncos crash. And we have his daughter, who was in charge of triage at Royal University Hospital in Saskatoon on the night of April 6th this year. So it's all about that idea of the doctors and nurses and the people who come to you when you're most in need. And that's a special vocation, first responders, doctors. That sustainable high performance is one of the trickiest things. And the trauma that they experience, the things that they see, any hockey player would wish to have what they have. So that's how we're going to kind of create that theme this year.
Can't wait to see some of the stories and features on Saturday during Hockey Day. We'll go back to the phone lines here. Good morning, Trading Post.
Good morning. Good morning, Ron.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Who's this?
This is Martin. I'm calling from up in the Nipawin area.
There you go. You know what, Martin? We were talking about how far away listeners on the Trading Post come from, and I said, we've had callers from as far away as the Paw, Manitoba, and you're in Nipawin. So there you go right there, eh?
Right, yeah, not too far from where that tragedy happened there last spring. But anyway... Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, I'm looking for an older quad. If somebody has one for a work project, just to keep my marbles straight for the winter. Eh?
Give you something to do, eh?
That's right. Yeah, if somebody has something like that, or an older 3-wheeler, even, I'd be interested in anything like that. And they could call 306-862-7598.
862-7598 up in the Nipawin area, hey?
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling in. All the best to you up there.
Good luck to the Hawks.
You bet.
You bet. Go Hawks.
Okay.
You know, Ron, it was interesting. Marcus Curry, who's the young guy that's been helping us sort of run traffic here, and he was the co-host. He's the host of the Country Music Radio Morning Show. We were talking about Hockey Day and in Shaunavon when it was there 15 years ago, and he said, yeah, they did a feature on me. I was 7 years old, and we were playing a minor hockey game down there, and he said, I still have it on a big VHS tape, and he said, I want to get it autographed this weekend by the guys. Marcus was playing down there. I think he said he scored a hat trick, and you guys had done a feature on him or something. So I said, you must have been like tiny, and he said, I think I was 7 or 8.
And you know Cole Lind, right?
Yeah,
was also profiled.
About the same age.
Yes, and he's just become a fantastic professional hockey player, and the whole family, the Linds, I hear his daughters, or sisters, I should say, are just fantastic, and his brother's a great hockey player, so that was a neat connection for us to have, and that'll be revisited this weekend.
Looking forward to it very much. So much going on. 778-3247. It's 11:55. We've only got about 5 minutes to go, and I know we got to take care of some more business, so we better take another break here. 11:55. We might have time to take another call or two if you want to call and say hi to Ron. If you have anything to buy, sell, trade, or give away. 778-3247.
The third annual Southwest Saskatchewan Crop Information Day. Guest speaker topics include spray applications, the provincial government on herbicide resistance, world weather, and micronutrients. Breakfast and lunch will be provided. There'll also be an industry trade show with dozens of booths by companies including BASF, Gowan, Syngenta, and even the Children's Wish Foundation. The third annual Southwest Saskatchewan Crop Information Day, February 13th at Walker Place. Get your tickets at any Nutrien Ag retail location.
It's Customer Appreciation Day at both Safeway and Sobeys. Tomorrow only, receive 10% off your groceries or 20 times your base Air Miles reward miles with a minimum $50 purchase. Safeway and Sobeys. Better food starts here.
CKSW is heard at some of Southwest Saskatchewan's best businesses, including Cypress House Personal Care Home, creating a world of difference and support for your loved ones. Find them across from the Swift Current Hospital. Trading Post on CKSW Country Music Radio. And hello goodbye at SwiftCurrentOnline.com. 2 great ways to buy, sell, or trade locally.
And welcome back to the Trading Post. We've only got about another 3.5 minutes to go before we got to make news way for the Southwest at noon. Ron MacLean joining us right now. He's in town, rolled in yesterday. Of course, Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Festivities start tomorrow, roll right through Saturday with Riverdene Park. And then the big game, it timed in perfectly with the Broncos and the Blades Saturday. It was 30 years. I'm dating myself again. I said I remember sitting around a buddy's house and we had the pizza and we had the pops and going crazy for the Broncos, and not a lot of junior games were shown on TV at that time, so it was really cool to watch the Broncos. I remember win it in overtime. Tim Tisdale with that goal. It's 30 years already. I mean, you blink and it's 30 years later.
I had a email from Bernie Pascal, was the broadcaster who called that game, and he was reminiscing about it yesterday, and he's living on Vancouver Island, retired now, but as he said, back then there was very little junior hockey available, and so it was a thrill for him to be part of that momentous victory for the Broncos. And we were just saying, when I was in Red Deer starting out doing the Rustler broadcast, the Junior A franchise, and we would be on the bus up and down Highway 2 towards Calgary or Edmonton, and I would wonder how far was the reach of our radio station, and could anybody in Didsbury actually hear our account of the Red Deer Rustler hockey games, and then you end up on Hockey Night in Canada, which kind of goes into every nook and cranny. But that was the special time to be in the wheel well of the bus talking to the coach, Win Dempster, all the way up and down the highway, and Cliff Bailey was the guy driving, and just like last night, Pat drove us in from Regina, and it was tough with the blowing snow, right? And just a really magical time to be a part of the game and in that way, and then to end up coming back every time I do a show like Swift Current this weekend. I sort of remember what it was like to be a Red Deer Rustler rink rat. Yeah, you make the NHL a first-hand experience, as we will this weekend with all the help we get. It's really a nice thing to have a show like this, and it begat, obviously, Rogers Hometown Hockey. This was the model after which we based that other show that goes everywhere, hither and yon, on Sunday nights, but nothing quite like the 20th anniversary of Scotiabank Hockey Day.
Absolutely. We got time to take one more call here before we got to keep on rolling here. Well, good morning, Trading Post.
Good morning. I have a diesel kerosene portable heater for sale. Give me a call at 741-1371.
1371-741-1371. Who's on the line with me? Les, say hi to Ron MacLean, okay?
I will do that.
Yeah,
you can do it right now if you want.
I got it, yeah. Nice of you to call. Thank you for the call.
Thanks for calling in, Les. Ron, I was going to say, I always laughed when it was in Shaunavon 15 years ago. We had the Jumbotron set up, and it had you and one that had cut into 4 screens, and it had John Davidson in New York, somebody in Toronto, somebody in Vancouver, and then Ron MacLean, Shaunavon. And that was just always we'd always laugh about that. I said, Toronto, New York, Vancouver, Shaunavon.
Well, the great Dick Irvin was there for the show, of course, and there was a beautiful shot of him and Don Cherry up in the corner of the rink in Shaunavon. Dick always said the true magic of Hockey Night in Canada is when he sees that. When he sees that towns united by a broadcast. And it was a really great memory. Ken Dryden was on the train. As you know, we had Gordon Lightfoot's Canadian Railroad Trilogy was the song we chose for the opening that year. And we came in on the Coleman car, which is the grandfather of Jim Coleman, a legendary writer here in Canada. It was Haley Wickenheiser, Sean Van Allen, Braden Colburn and his family. The whole thing in Shaunavon was just like it'll be this weekend. We always say that if you had to pick the sort of heart and soul of our game, you would probably pick Saskatchewan as the best representative, right? It's funny, we don't have an NHL team, but the true, SLU learning to skate, maybe it's Gordie Howe that gives it to us. Certainly Brian Trottier comes to mind in that regard.
And Brian's going to be here for a lot of it too this weekend too, isn't he?
He's amazing. He's going to sing both at the concert and again on the weekend. So Dave Bedini Band, I should give credit to Dave Bedini for helping us do. Tara Sloan, my colleague on Rogers Hometown Hockey, who's just an incredible host on the show, but even more incredible singer. We'll really see what she can do.
I'm looking forward to that. I didn't know she could sing like that.
She was. They had 2 top 5 singles, and the second one was Sometimes Wanna Die, and it was released in the United States at the same time 9/11 occurred, and the song got banned. That title was considered, just too tough. Sometimes Wanna Die in the wake of the accident on 9/11, and that kind of wrecked their career. They were just about to break in the biggest way. Joy Drop was the name of her band, but yeah, she's an amazing musician and a great singer.
Well, you know what, Ron? It's 12:01 now, so I can see that's it.
Time for the news.
You know what? Time for the news and that bitterly cold weather forecast and a preview of the Broncos weekend coming up and everything. It's been an absolute thrill. I don't know. This will be something that I'll remember for a very long time. Thanks so much for you taking the time to do this. Great to see you again. Have a blast in Swift Current over the next few days. Can't wait. It's Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.